Hello and welcome to Stories in Life. Here we share real and emotional stories that touch the heart, make you think, and sometimes even change the way you see the world. If you love deep, meaningful life experiences, subscribe now and join our community. Your support helps us bring you even more powerful stories that inspire, move, and stay with you long after the video ends. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's story together. When Cyril left the city to study, and then stayed there afterward, Zina wasn't just happy. She was bursting with pride. And how could she not be proud? Little Cyril had always been ahead of his peers in everything since first grade. He learned easily, straight A's in his report card. He always helped his mother. In the evenings, he wasn't goofing around or sledding down hills, but reading books. Oh, how the village women envied Zina. She knew herself that she had the best son. Day and night, she worked herself to the bone, so he'd be dressed better than others and have everything he needed. And then, when it came time for college, he went to the city. She'd only come home to sleep for 3 or 4 hours, rushing from one job to another. She kept saving. Those same women would scold her. What are you doing to yourself? Look at yourself. Your skin and bones. You look like an old woman. You don't eat right. Don't sleep. How can you live like this? What's this all for your Cyril? Everything costs money. What do you mean everything? Money's tight. What are you saying? What do you mean tight? He doesn't even want to take money. I'm practically forcing it on him. And he's studying in the top program too. Should he go around in rags? When did he ever go around in rags? What are you talking about? Oh, Zina, you'll spoil that boy, then you'll be crying. Zina would laugh in response. Well, what else could they say to her? They were just jealous themselves, couldn't bring themselves to admit it. She would do what she thought was right, and Cyril would definitely achieve everything she didn't even dare dream of. And in her old age, she'd rest, and her son would take care of her. That's what good children always do. After graduation, Cyril came home for just a month. Turns out he'd gotten himself some kind of part-time job in the city. Zina thought about what the women had said. Well, they all thought Cyril was just thinking about how to drain her money. But look at him. He's earning everything himself. Zina decided that now she needed to save for a wedding, for housing, for other bigger things, not just small stuff. She really needed to think about the future. So she pushed herself and started taking on even more shifts. Cyril would visit a couple times a year. Time passed, but somehow nothing changed. He'd already gotten a real job, told her when he visited that it was a really prestigious company. Zina would cry listening to him. Her son was going to become somebody important. Work was getting harder and harder. The women would tap their temples, saying, Zina, stop this. You look like a ghost already. How can you go on like this? She could feel it herself that she was exhausted. So exhausted that sometimes she'd get lost in her own house, and one morning she couldn't get up. Her legs wouldn't obey her at all. Cyril hadn't visited in 3 months, and Zina broke down crying. So, bitterly, around 10 o'clock Tammy came running over. Zina, you're not home. Why didn't you go to work? She looked into the room. Zina, what are you doing lying there? She smiled guiltily. I don't know myself, Tammy. I woke up this morning, and my legs don't want to walk. They won't listen, the cursed things. Tammy gasped. You've worked yourself to death. That's what? Oh, Zina, you've destroyed yourself. And if you can't get up, what will you do? Or do you think Cyril will drop everything and come running to you? Oh, what are you saying? God forbid. I'll get better. He doesn't need to ruin his life staying here with me. Tammy spat angrily. Well, you're a fool. That's it. I'm getting the nurse. And I'll tell Kate to call Cyril. Let him come visit his mother at least. Zina raised herself up in alarm. Tammy, don't call him. Why bother him? But Tammy had already rushed out the door. Kate was her daughter and Cyril's classmate. She studied in the city too, but now she was back teaching children at the local school. In 15 minutes, the house was full. The nurse practitioner, an elderly woman, was scolding her. How can you do this to yourself? You're going to put yourself in the grave. What are you thinking? Will your son be better off if you die? Zina smiled in confusion. She wasn't used to so many people around. Cyril rejected the call once, then twice. Ella reached for him. Who keeps calling you? Just guys from college. I'll ask them what they want now. Go back to sleep. He left the bedroom, closing the door tightly behind him. Hello. Kate, have you lost your mind? What are you calling about so early? What early? It's almost 11. Listen, you need to come home. Your mother's collapsed. Damn, I can't right now. I have... Cyril bit his tongue, almost giving himself away. Cyril, are you out of your mind? She's worked her whole life for you, and today she couldn't get out of bed. And you're saying you can't come. Well, okay, I'll tell the village that's what you said. And you know, the women here will track you down in the city fast. They'll tell you everything. Cyril cursed. Don't underestimate them. They can do anything. Fine, I'll come today. Ella looked at him in surprise. But you weren't planning to go anywhere. Why the sudden rush? Ella, honey, a friend's in trouble. Need to help him. You haven't forgotten? We have our wedding in a week. Of course, I remember everything. Why are you acting like this? Let me come with you. No, Ella, it's just the guys. Besides, it's not as nice there as you're used to. My friend, he's been drinking heavily, and I need to get him out of this condition. Ella shrugged. Cyril had never given her reason for jealousy, but for some reason she didn't believe him this time. They'd met at her father's company. She was the owner's daughter. He was a smart, up-and-coming manager. Her father was simply amazed by him, said the young man had a brilliant future, even without his money. Their romance was passionate. Cyril turned out to be not only smart, but very interesting. And when Ella found out he was an orphan, she actually cried, hugged him, and said, "Now you'll have a big family. We're all very close. We always have each other's backs. You can see that yourself. Dad considers family the most important thing in life. You know why? Because he's an orphan, too." Cyril flinched, wanted to confess then, but couldn't. He just couldn't picture his mother in this environment. Nobody in his current circle had even seen a cow in real life, while his mother had worked the fields her whole life. Ella rushed into her father's office. Nathan looked up in surprise. His daughter was everything most important to him, everything he lived and breathed for. Ella, did something happen? You look upset. Dad, I think Cyril is cheating. Nathan cleared his throat and scratched his nose with his pencil. Now hold on. What makes you think that? Did you catch him with someone, see something? No, Dad, it's much worse. Nathan smiled. Oh, his daughter really should have gone into acting after all. She would definitely have made it big. So much emotion, such gestures. Any stranger would believe her every word. But her father knew her too well. So he understood he always needed to investigate, because during such investigations, usually half of Ella's arguments would fall apart. And it didn't matter what they were arguing about or what she was telling him. It had been this way since childhood. Dad. Someone was calling him all morning, then he went out and talked. I heard him call her Kate, and then he said he urgently needed to save some friend, and he's leaving for 2 days. And this is right before our wedding. Very interesting. And what car is he taking? His own, Dad. Well, the company car, I mean... Oh, that's perfect. All our cars have GPS trackers installed. He called and summoned the head of security, and they sat down at the laptop together. 2 hours later, Ella said in confusion, Dad, I don't understand where he went. Maybe he'll go further. As soon as Zina saw Cyril, she seemed to forget all about her ailments. Her legs even held her up. She swayed, of course, but she could walk on her own. Son, my boy came home. She didn't know how to seat him, what to feed him. Cyril asked about affairs in the village, about this and that. Cyril, is that your car at the gate? Not exactly. It's a company car. Zina gasped. Company cars in her understanding were big, dirty trucks. But here was one shining with polish, blue, low to the ground. Won't they scold you? Cyril waved it off. Nobody's going to scold me. Actually, I'm about to become the owner's son-in-law. Zina sat down, saying in surprise, What? Cyril sighed. I'll have to tell you everything sooner or later anyway. So better now, Otherwise, later it'll be even harder to explain. Mom, I'm getting married in a week. I'm engaged. She's a very good girl, and her dad is the richest man in the city. Cyril, you're not marrying her just because her dad has a lot of money. Mom, of course not. I'm not that low yet. Oh my, a week? That's so much to do. Wait. Zina ran to the pantry, grabbed her precious box where she saved money. Look, there's enough here for a good wedding. Cyril glanced at the money. No, Mom, this might cover a suit, and not even a very good one. You just can't imagine the kind of money they have there. Oh, you scare me. I won't talk to anyone then. I'll just sit quietly. Sit where? Zina laughed. Well, where? At the wedding. Cyril sighed. I came here to talk about this too. You don't need to come to the wedding. You look out of place there. You just won't fit in, right? Don't be offended. I'm looking out for you. Cyril didn't understand how to explain why she couldn't go there, but as soon as he imagined her there, he was overcome with panic. They'd just laugh at him. Zina sat with her head down, then asked almost in a whisper, So you're ashamed of your mother? Mom, don't start. It really will be better for everyone this way. Zina sighed and nodded. You're probably right. Go on then, your bride will be worried. Cyril jumped up. He really wanted to leave, so he wouldn't have to see her hunched back and worn hands. He quickly kissed his mother and ran outside. Zina heard the car drive away and barely convinced her legs to carry her to the couch. She laid down, covered her face with a cloth, and cried, Dad, there he is. Sit quietly, don't move. He's never seen this car. A car flew past at breakneck speed. Nathan shook his head, driving like a maniac. Ella replied, Strange. He's not usually a speed demon. Everything's strange here. Look, he's home. Which house do we need, Dad? That one. Stop. They got out of the car. Right. The grass by the gate is flattened by tires. Well, let's go to the house. Dad, what if she's there? This Kate. Let's go. Nathan knocked and opened the door. Hello. Anyone home? A woman rose from the couch. Her face was streaked with tears, and there was no one else in the house. Ella rushed to her. What's wrong with you? Are you sick? Where's some water? 5 minutes later, after Zina had some water, she asked, You must be lost? No, tell us, was Cyril here? Little Cyril, yes? Zina started crying again. My boy said not to come to the wedding, not to embarrass him. Ella looked at her father in amazement, then turned to Zina. Who are you? Cyril's mother. Mother. And who are you? I'm Ella. This is my dad, Nathan. Zina gasped. Oh, so Cyril didn't want you to see me? Nathan sat down on a chair. So, Cyril is showing us a completely different side of himself. And frankly, I don't much like this side. Dad, it can't be true. We need to hear him out. I don't believe he's like this. They heard a car at the house. Ella quickly looked out. Cyril. Nathan nodded toward the door to the other room. They barely had time to go in there when Cyril entered the house. He rushed to Zina. Mom, forgive me. I don't understand what's wrong with me. At the very beginning, I said I was an orphan. Got scared that Ella wouldn't even want to talk to you. Then when I got to know her, I should have confessed, but I couldn't, so I lied. Forgive me, Mom. Get ready. Let's go buy you an outfit, the most beautiful one. We'll dress you up and do your hair so beautifully that everyone will gasp, What a beauty you are. Cyril was almost crying himself. He'd only driven about 20 miles from the village, maybe 30, and the whole way he remembered how the boys at school envied him because he had everything first. How his mother cried when he brought home another award. How at all the school assemblies he and his mother were held up as examples. He stopped, stood on the roadside for a bit, made a sharp U-turn and rushed back. Well, if the new family won't accept his mother, then to hell with that family. Well, Cyril gave us a scare. I was beginning to think we'd taken a snake to our bosom. The young man jerked, jumped up, shielding his mother. Nathan, Ella. Then he seemed to deflate. Well, there's nothing left to explain. Meet my mother, the best woman who spent her whole life on me. The second day of the wedding, Ella wanted to walk around the village. Her future mother-in-law had told her so many funny and interesting village customs that the girls simply fell in love with this place. Zina was unrecognizable, rested, with makeup manicured, in a beautiful dress. She didn't look like herself. Even Cyril kept looking at her in amazement, and the village women sighed. Zina really raised a good boy after all. Look how he treats his mother. And his bride is beautiful, but down to earth. She danced with our people like a real village girl. And that gray-haired man keeps hanging around Zina. They say he's a real professor. Maybe she'll get married again herself. Well, she suffered enough. She's worked hard enough. And really she's still nothing. Just turned 50. Thank you for listening to the story until the end. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends and loved ones. It motivates us to keep working on new stories every day. Don't miss the next amazing story that's about to appear on your screen. We're very grateful to have you with us. See you soon.